Now, bats usually come off a drum carder in one large rectangular piece, but if you prefer to spin from roving as opposed to a bat, there's a really easy way to do this on your drum carder. There is a tiny little device called a diz, and this can be either an object made specifically to be a diz, or you can use something like a button or anything that has a small hole in it. So first I take the doffer brush and take it off the drum just a little bit, so maybe just like an inch or two of fiber, and then thread this through the diz. And if you have a hand crank carder, then it's going to work a little bit differently. For this motorized carder, there's a little pin that comes out of the drum and then it spins freely. But for a hand crank one, it's just going to spin a little bit slower. So mine glides quite freely. So once you thread the fiber through the diz, then you are going to keep the diz close to the carder and slowly pull the fiber out. And there is a little bit of a technique to this, and some of it's just trial and error, and it does depend on the fiber. So some fibers are super easy and some are really tricky. So this one is relatively simple. It's coming off the carder really nicely and not leaving a whole lot behind. You will see though, once I get to the end where that seam is, it does need a little bit of coaxing to get to the other side. And sometimes it'll glide slowly and create a continuous spiral, but sometimes I need to take that doffer hook again and pull off a little bit more of the fiber, just to keep that continuous strand going. So the benefit of roving is that it comes off in one long piece. So if you're spinning, and you just want to kind of keep your momentum and keep going, that is going to help you quite a bit. So I personally like spinning from roving as opposed to a bat. It's just a nicer process for me. So I'll usually diz my fiber off into roving. But again, bats are completely fine as well. Now this diz, you can see, is curved a little bit, and I'm using it so that the curve is facing towards me, kind of like it's a little bit of a cup or a little bowl. And every time I post a video about this, I get people saying, oh, it's supposed to be pointing the other direction. And that may be the case if I post either direction. If I use it either direction, I still get comments like that. So there's no right or wrong way. It's however you find it best to use it. I prefer to use it in this direction. I find it brings the fiber off a lot more seamlessly. So that's my personal preference. Now this particular diz came from Brother Drum Carder. They are the ones who made this carder, and they do sell this diz separately, so you don't need to get their entire accessory pack. You can just buy the diz. And this diz, you'll notice it has rectangular holes as opposed to round holes, which most of them have. And I'm not totally sure the science behind it, but the rectangular holes personally just work way better than round holes. And it does have 3 different size holes, and that way you can decide how thick you want your roving to be. So some fibers are very light and fluffy. Something like Angora, I usually go through a small hole, but some of the thicker wools, something like Romedale that's super squishy, I might actually go through the larger hole because it just needs more room to stretch. So once you're done pulling this all off the carder, then you can wind up in a ball and you have a lovely long strand of roving.